Hey everyone, Paige here from The True Voyager. Today I'm going to be sharing about my experience on the overnight ferry from Helsinki, Finland to Stockholm, Sweden. In case you're new here, last year I sold all of my belongings, quit my corporate 9-to-5, left my home of 15 years and bought a one-way ticket to London. Since then I've been traveling through my ancestral homelands of Mother Europe, working remotely and living as a digital nomad while exploring these beautiful lands. I was so excited to visit Finland and Sweden, and I was even more excited to take the overnight ferry from Helsinki to Stockholm. I'd never been on an overnight ferry before, and I really loved the idea of making a short, quick trip across the Baltic Sea while getting to stay the night in a cabin and enjoy the perks of the ferry. Okay, hang on though, let's rewind a minute. I've got to say that the process of checking in, boarding the ferry, and finding my room was pretty seamless. I'm used to check-ins being sort of clunky or stressful, especially with flights or train departures, and this experience was such a pleasant surprise. I arrived about an hour and a half before the departure time, and there were no lines and no waits to board the ship. So, about the room. I had initially paid for a seaside premium cabin. That meant that my room had a window with an unobstructed sea view. I think I paid around $120 for that accommodation, which I actually thought was pretty reasonable for the value and the quality of the cabin. However, when I first got to my room and went into the bathroom, I immediately noticed a bad smell of raw sewage. It was no bueno and was pretty foul, if I'm being honest, so I went down to the information desk to let them know. The man at the desk was so kind and gracious, and he immediately told me they would find me another room. With no questions asked, he upgraded me to a suite with a private balcony on the captain's deck. The ferry had a ton of live music and events planned for the evening. They had karaoke, a live band, and a dance performance available to watch in the main bar and ballroom. They also had 3 different restaurants, ranging from a buffet, a bar and grill, and a fine dining restaurant. I forgot to take any footage of my meals, but I opted for fine dining, and the food and service was impeccable. I had fully planned to go to karaoke, but it didn't start until 9:30, and I was honestly too tired to stay up. I ended up just lounging in my room and enjoying the sea view. The only negative review I have of this experience was that their Wi-Fi was terrible. It kept cutting in and out, and apparently it's always like that because I called the information desk and the staff said that there was nothing to be done about it and that it was a common occurrence. I couldn't really stream anything, and I wasn't able to get much work done. That was frustrating, but also it was somewhat understandable as we were sailing pretty far north on the open water. I slept like a baby that evening. The bed was decently comfortable, and I felt like I was being rocked in a cradle all night long. It was light outside throughout the whole night, but thankfully there were blackout curtains in the cabin. When I fell asleep, all I could see from my balcony was endless ocean. But when I woke up the next morning, we were already passing by land and various islands, as we had already entered the waterways that lead to Stockholm. I had another delicious meal at breakfast, and then before packing up, I stopped in at the tax-free shop on board to pick up a few items that I needed. They had everything from makeup to beauty products to snacks to clothing to perfume available. It reminded me of the stores that you see in airports. Now, I don't often shop in stores like this, but I really did need some new makeup, and they had some decent brands, and I was able to get the product that I was looking for. Our ferry had departed at 5 p.m. the night before, and we arrived in Stockholm the next morning at 10 a.m. I think it was a great amount of time to spend on the ferry, although I must say I would have loved to stay one more night, especially in that upgraded cabin. I've never been on a cruise before, but this ferry experience felt like a mini version of what I imagine a cruise might be like. I'm not sure if I'd be into a full-on cruise, but this little excursion felt like just the right amount of fun for me. There are multiple ferry companies that do this route from Helsinki to Stockholm. I chose Viking Line because they were the most affordable option, but they really didn't disappoint. I would highly recommend them as a company, and I hope to sail with them again in the future. If you've enjoyed this video and you're feeling the vibe, please do share, like, and subscribe, as it really helps me as a new YouTuber with a smaller channel. I really hope you found some value in what I shared today. Here at The True Voyager, I release videos every Saturday, and next week I'll be sharing about my experience in Stockholm, Sweden. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.